Workshops in fashion design, can attend a workshop in business, can attend workshops in styling or in other subjects, besides the courses that are shared amongst all students. Why this? Because we think that at the end of the day our role is not to teach but to coach students. When they get to us, most of them have the dream of starting their own startup, business, or becoming the manager of Gucci or Prada. There is a kind of, we do not have anything against dreams, we nourish dreams, but we need to keep a touch on reality. So what we need to understand is which are the strong skills and the weaknesses of the student, how to guide him or her toward his future career. And more than that, we shouldn't be so worried about what our students will be in 1 year. We should be worried what they will be in 10 years, because this is the real question. And in 10 years, jobs will be so different, will be so undefined. It has just been invented a new term, the CDO, Chief Digital Officer, that didn't exist before in the business. And the student from fashion cannot even think about being totally unaware of the business models that are going through. Not because they have to learn and practice them immediately, or because they will be part of the daily routine, but because they have to interact with people from that area, and they have to learn the language, and they have to learn which are the things that will be changing. Besides that, obviously, there is creativity, there is talent. Talent is not a merit of the school. Talent is chance. If you are good enough, we can attract good talents. And then what we can do is support them in having a method when it comes to the design field. And this is very important because the time pace that fashion is giving out to collection is crazy. Probably it's changing. Probably we will see the division between two big sides of fashion, one that will be faster and faster, and the other one that will go back to a more reflective pace, let's say. But still, there is a training that needs to be done, that the students have to undergo through, and that is really relevant to create something that makes sense. Last but not least, it is about happiness, in my opinion. To select this kind of field cannot be a choice just set up because of the building effect of fashion shows and things. This is naive to think about it. It's a very tough work, no matter if you're working as a manager or as a product responsible or a designer or a digital communicator or whatever. It is important to be passionate and to be updated. Sometimes I find out that students are, and I sound pretty old to say something like that, lazy. Meaning that you can recognize immediately when a student is really passionate because he knows more than you do. And this is what should be. A young student in this field should know more than me which are the newest things on the market, because there are no excuses now with the digital tools that they have at disposal. And sometimes we need to make them understand that it's not about making their duties or getting an assessment. This is not relevant. In Italy, we were discussing that yesterday. We have a system that is pretty open because when it was born, it was not thought for fashion. Fashion didn't raise from the government in Italy, or did raise from the private initiative and from a territory that was nourishing it through the districts. But our regulation in Italy is, at the end of the day, pretty wide. This doesn't mean that we can sit on it, let's say, but it means that we need to renovate and rethink our objectives and programs on a yearly basis, because that's the only way to provide students a real pace for the future. Also because we have a lack in Italy, and this I think it's a cross characteristic that goes through all our schools here. We have industry. And all our schools are working really in a tight manner with industry. That doesn't mean that we are doing consultancy to the students, but it means that industry is nourishing the realistic side for the students to understand what is going on, not necessarily the future. They come to our schools to understand themselves, which is the future through the lenses of the youngsters. But this is a very important tool for us that we need to stay to in any case. I don't know if I answer your question.
Спасибо большое, Барбара. Я задам вопрос, который я хотела бы, чтобы Барбара еще раз, может быть, от призмы российской действительности вы попробовали ответить с позиции итальянского опыта или европейского опыта. Насколько важен стандарт запрос индустрии и связи с системой образования, либо все-таки это в фэшн-образовании совершенно неприемлемо, и это лишь должно регулироваться, как вы сказали, в вашей практике на самом верхнем уровне, давая возможность раскрыться креативности и таланту. Потому что в России, в действительности, в которой мы живем и работаем, и развиваемся, этот вопрос стоит на повестке дня. Профессиональные стандарты, образовательные стандарты. Как развить креативность, как развить, скажем так, то новое, которого еще нет в стандартах, и как действительно Россия сделать привлекательной. Еще раз, российским политикам, российским участникам системы образования, ваше мнение, скажите.
Wow. Okay. So let's say two things. Professional standards are relevant because no school wants to produce, let's say, unemployed people. So obviously we need to take care of that. But industry needs to cooperate with the education institution. Otherwise they cannot pretend education to give them proper people. Because usually in universities, instructors that are very great instructors do not have time to be practitioners at the same time. In our place we are pretty lucky because we have a very flexible and open structure in which we work only with professionals. So we can integrate that into our programs. And in my personal opinion, this is something that should be integrated in any system, in any university, to give students a real touch. But, there is a but. Not always industry representatives are visionary. Not always they know what they will need. They know what they need at the moment, which is not necessarily the best options for a student, because the student needs to be employable in a long path. I think that it's a compromise of the two elements. It's about awareness. I think that the students that is really ready to face this industry should be aware of what are the requirements to enter into the industry, also because whatever he will or she will do, from design to management or whatever, they will need to understand how they can be employable when they exit from our school. But at the same time, they need to have a vision. And I don't think that the right attitude of the industry is just to come to school to search for employee, which is already something good, but it's not enough. They have to give information, and one of the reasons, for instance, they come to us is that they are not expecting from the students to do the next collection for the brand, let's say. But they're expecting our students to have a vision of what their brand could be in 10 years. Because when you work into the industry, you don't have time to make this kind of research, and you do not have a platform like the ones that schools can offer. But it's an integrated approach. It's very dangerous. Industry is relevant, industry is important. People need to be employable and not just in the air. But let's not lose the dream touch. Let's not lose the vision. Because if we tend to the future as an industry, how as educators we can just stop to the present? It doesn't make any sense. Usually talented students have both qualities. Either they're crazy, but they're so talented that they can do whatever without any school. Or if they have a good talent, not exceptional, they can experience this kind of fact, but we need also to protect them to become employees at the first sight. Because the future is not the short-term future, it's the long-term future, in my opinion. I don't know if I answered your question.
Thank you, Барбара. Спасибо большое, Барбара. И я хотела следующий вопрос адресовать Данило Вентури, декану школы моды Полимода. Должен ли каждый студент в сфере моды пытаться открыть свой бизнес, сформировать свой собственный бренд и сделать его успешным? Или нет? Или все-таки студент фэшн-индустрии, он разный? И успешный студент фэшн-индустрии может быть талантливым, креативным, но не успешным с точки зрения создания собственного бренда. И наоборот, он может быть не очень креативный и совсем даже не креативный, но очень успешный с точки зрения создания и продвижения бренда. Вот, Данила, ваше мнение на это?
Well, how to say, the dream is important to open your business. We need also new business, and we teach also to do that. Some students, some of our students are here, students and ex-students, so they know perfectly that among the projects they have, some of them are really dedicated to start up new projects. And so it's important that they can dream about that, but it's also important that they have an experience before doing that. So the school can be already the first experience if the school is project-based. You know, today, I do agree with what you said. Today, it's difficult to set standards of education, not because we are not able to, we could write down all the figures that we need, but it's changing so fast, and globalization is making everything standardized on one time, and on the other time it makes localisms, particularisms emerge. So what you find here is not there, and at the same time we have a basic level everywhere. So, you know, and also categories. When you study categories of